All right, so once again, wiping this down with rubbing alcohol, just to make sure that this is nice and clean right in through here. Then let's spray. Obviously, this is a mannequin head, so it's not going to sweat. Unfortunately, I should spray this on my face right now. But you work it in a little bit, make sure you get it all over the scalp, right? And then you go in with the protective base, the scalp protector. Take this off, you dab it on, and you start to just kind of work it throughout the entire perimeter, right? So now, a lot of times, if you are using a system for the first time, there's a number of different ways to find out where to actually put the hairline. Now on this, you could see from before, I guess this was used prior to create some sort of hairline in through here. So what you can also do is do 4 fingers from the eyebrow, right? And that is where about the natural hairline is going to be, which is like actually right in this area. So it's a little trick. I know sometimes people, what they do is they take a marker or makeup and they just kind of paint right here on the hairline itself. What you could also do is you can use a comb and you can press like this to make kind of an indentation, right, of where the unit needs to go for the hairline. But the hairline obviously is the most important when it comes to everything. So when it comes to applying the glue, right, what I like to do is take a small amount. I like to just shake it up a little bit. Make sure you shake up the Ghost Bond. And what you can do is then squeeze. You don't need a whole lot, right? You don't need a whole lot, as you can see, because we're only working on this one area right in through here. But I would suggest doing maybe 2 to 3 applications of this. So what you want to do is you don't want to over saturate, right, the brush, because what's going to happen is it's going to get all over the place, and the last thing you want is for this to become a hot mess. So what I would suggest doing is just kind of lightly working your way around the outer perimeter first, and then work down towards the bottom, just because, in case this is your first time doing it, you want to make sure that you don't go down into the hair, right? That's the last thing you want to do is get the glue in the hair, because trust me, it's happened to me a number of times and it's not fun. It's definitely not fun. So as you can see, I'm just going to be kind of finishing this up, going all the way around. And if you get it on here, it's not like it's the end of the world. What's more important is to get it in the areas that is needed, where it's going to be sticking on the scalp, like right around the hairline and this whole perimeter. Because remember, this is what's going to be sticking on the scalp. So you need to make sure that you have this fully saturated and covered. And this, trust me, when I say this is strong and sticky, it is. This is some strong stuff right in through here. All right, so let's finish up just doing this, and I'm going to get the hairline. Again, I'm going very, very gently on the hairline. It's like painting on with a brush on a canvas. You just really, really need to make sure that you're not going on the actual scalp, right, on the hairline with this, meaning over the hairline onto the hair. If you've never done this before, it can be a little bit intimidating and tricky at first, but once you get the hang of actually applying something like this onto something, then it becomes much easier over time. So trust me, it was new for me. When I first did this, I was a little more experienced because of doing hair color and things like that. But yeah, you definitely get used to it. Okay, so what you want to do is once you have the glue on the actual poly section, the outer perimeter of the unit, you just want to let it sit for a little bit. All right, you want to let it sit and dry, and that could take anywhere from 5 minutes to 10 minutes. It all really, really depends. But that's the key, is to let this whole base dry. All right. Now, what you could also do just to be on the safe side, is you could take a little more of the glue, because you see I basically almost used all of it right in that one, you know, which is it was actually a perfect squeeze, so it just got a little bit. What you can do is you can go back in, right? You want to set this aside somewhere, let it dry, but what you can do is you can actually go onto the scalp, right in through here, and you can apply the glue right in that area that you made before with the comb to kind of show where the hairline is. One thing I also want to note that, you know, this mannequin already came bald already, but if you do want to shave off the head, the hair from the head, if you do have any peach fuzz, it's definitely crucial that you do that, just because you want to make sure that this is fully bald and fully clean, right? And you can do that with a razor, you know, and you could also just go around the outer perimeter right here of the unit. And that's what I really like about this piece, is that it has the flexibility of the polyurethane base, but also it's got the breathability, because these units can get a little warm. I'll be honest with you, they can get a little warm, and you know, sometimes it's a bit much. And depending on what you do, you know, they do have solutions for your system, right? For your scalp. So something like this would work great. So let's let this hang out for a few more minutes. I would normally go back in and apply another maybe 1 or 2 coats to this, and then we'll come back when it's ready and apply it. Few tips also while you're waiting. You want to make sure that you close this by turning the cap to the closed position. You don't want to have this sitting open. And then lastly, if you do want to have that extra security, right, on your scalp, you can take a piece of the double-sided tape like this, and you can just literally put one right there, and that's going to give you that little extra security. All right, so once we've got that, we just peel this right off, and now we've got another layer of glue right here. If the glue is not drying fast enough, what you could do is you can take a blow dryer like that, and you can blow dry the glue so it helps dry quick. All right, so now we're ready to apply the system. I'm going to stand right in the front above the head, and you can also have the client or if you're doing it yourself, maybe, I know this is the hardest part of it, but tilt the head back a little bit. So we're starting right in the front, and the good thing about this is that it's pretty much measured to the scalp. So as I'm turning back, I'm holding on the edges right in through here, in the corners, and I'm literally just pulling the hair downwards like this, just to make sure that everything is really glued down nicely, because that's it. You want to set it and forget it, to be honest with you. All right, so now let's comb through this, and we'll start the actual haircut.